Hello, my name is Junia Vaughn, and my presentation this week is on the essay In Appetite for Activism, the Lesbian Avengers, and the Queer Politics of Visibility. And in this article, it basically is trying to show that how lesbians versus the queers, the guys, were viewed differently, especially when coming out more and more, how lesbians were not given credit much for being who they want to be, and how it was acceptable more for the male than it was for female. Then then it begins that they have what's called the lesbian Avengers. In other words, basically, the Avengers are queer not just because they proclaim a lesbian sexuality with a vengeance, but because their performance of lesbianism interprets the very expectation and effects of visibility politics itself. They exhibit their sexual objectification unabashedly and proclaim that their embodied desire. They make it legible, the unmarked heterosexual desire that produces the public, basically more visibility. So what the lesbian Avengers, they seem to ravel in the depiction of their objectification, producing textual materials that uses sexualized female bodies, which are a staple of mainstream advertisements. As we can see, one of the pictures in the article is of Pam Grier, a long-time object of heterosexual male desire, but they use her to make their approach. The logos or advertisements that they use, you see that each body is thin, but of course it's traditionally attractive and clearly meant to be sexually appealing. Here we have, as time progress, male wants to see girls on girls action. So you see in flyers like this one, Spring Break 2013, they have to have the girl touching the other girl in such a provocative way in order to entice them to come out to Cancun and have a wonderful time. So therefore that's the view that lesbians are starting to get. It's more sexual. So basically, the Avengers' ability to make sense within a dominant discourse while also challenging that discourse exclusion performatively enacts a queer world in the present and the future by using visible, available cultural texts. The lesbian Avengers demonstrate then that the resistance to the heteronormative sexism, racism, and other marginalized discourse need not to enact a wholesome rejection of the culture within which they circulate. Rather, by working on with and against the hetero economy of desire and the expectations of visibility politics, they create a queer world that is recognizable within nonetheless exceeds dominant norms of gender, sexuality, and embodiment. So the Avengers explicitly and intensely introduce sexuality. So they're introducing more of a sexual appeal to their public performances, not by re-announcing a fictional disembodiment, by extenuating the embodiment from which they can never escape. Now that's the visual, that's what they have now. So therefore they can't escape that. And thereby they sexualize the scenes of the political representation and queer the politics of visibility. Thus, the lesbian Avengers complicate the transformative potential of visibility politics, urging a closer consideration of under what conditions, on whose terms, for whose benefit, and at whose expense certain bodies can become more visible. My example here is now Now we're in modern days. This is a depiction that happened on Grown Ups too, if you ever watched the movie. They have a scene where it's the car wash scene, your normal scene where you have the girls, they have the water flowing through them, and basically they're playing with each other, throwing soaps. Well, they kind of reversed it a little bit in Grown Ups too. You have to the left where you have the guy is supposed to be a resemblance of the young lady to the right. Here you have him at the bottom. They are washing his car. At the top left, he comes in, he sees these girls are with the soap, the sponges, the water running through them. He thinks that's what he's going to get. Instead, he gets the top right. The males, the guys, they're coming to wash his car. And the bottom right face is like, whoa, what? And the bottom left face is the guys portraying what you would normally see girls doing at a car wash with the short skirt and the short tops with the belly button showing. Now you have the guys using their, on the bottom right, their butts to clean the windows, and basically it's a mockumentary of what is normally seen. We have normalized that women playing with each other while they're washing is the norm, where they kind of reversed it in Grown Ups too, where they want to show that basically to be funny how people are normally viewing women, especially when they're playing with each other in a lesbian way. So that's kind of like the funny part about this scene that takes place in Grown Ups too. Thank you for joining me today, and that's the end of this article.